As a musician, what are your best qualities?
My best qualities as a musician. I'd say that from my school of music, the fact that I'm untrained is a good quality. I don't take myself too seriously, but I know when to. I'm very honest. My approach is very unadulterated, so I don't like put on a voice or anything, you know, the affected voices. You know, I just sing in my own comfortable, sludgy baritone most of the time. I guess those are positive things.
What's a common compliment that you get?
Compliment. There's a lot of common constructive criticisms that I get. No, just playing. Common compliment. Let's see. It's usually about the voice, if anything, as far as music goes. You know, like I love the tone of your voice or the register that you sing in. I guess. You know. That's actually also about my acting as well. People seem to like the voice.
What's your best childhood memory?
Best childhood memory. Probably just, I grew up in a very small country town, and behind our house was a huge woods area that was like a communal area for all the houses around the wood. And so I grew up, you know, without a TV really, and I just grew up in the woods with my brothers. Well, not in the woods, not like Mowgli, but my best memories are definitely just playing outside and all the crazy things that you imagine, building forts and climbing trees and stuff like that.
What's the best lesson you've ever learned?
I say the best lesson I ever learned, I guess it was more of a comment at the time, but one of my early acting tutors, his name is Peter Royston, great man, rest in peace. He mentioned to me once after a performance that I did during a Shakespeare course. I remember he said, "You love to act, don't you, Maestro?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm here, aren't I? You know, like, I'm here because I love to act." And he was like, "You don't need to show me." And that always stuck with me, that, you know, I don't need to show people that I love doing what I'm doing, just do it, just love it and do it and be at peace with it, you know. And I think that was one of the best lessons I ever learned, and it was quite early on.
Would you say he was your mentor?
He was definitely one of my early mentors. I had several of them throughout the years, but he was one where I feel like he was really psychic. You know, you meet these people sometimes, and you're like, stop! Don't look that deep, please. You're not gonna find anything nice. But yeah, he just, I don't know. He kind of had this really calm and laid back approach that was made you feel very at ease, even though he did feel like he was reading your mind. But there was this peace to it. Whereas I think with a lot of acting tutors, there's this real drive and thing, you know, like just do this, you know, and that's good for a certain way. But I think for what I needed at that time in my life was it was a much calmer approach, and that was kind of my first exposure, I think, to the book.
What's one random thing about yourself that's not on the internet?
I don't know what's on the internet.
You don't look?
I'm terrified. No, I stopped Googling myself a long time ago.
It's scary.
I'd say something you guys don't know. There's a lot. I've been arrested a couple times, but probably shouldn't put that in your article.
There's that question.
Anyway, there's no outstanding warrants.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Who do you go to for advice and inspiration?
You know, it's my dad, really. I've always had my dad as my secret guru over the years. You know, he's an anthropologist, but he was a university professor all through my childhood and youth. And he has a study up at the top of our house with all his books wrapped around. And I used to always, if I get in a fight with my mom or whatever, you know, fist fight, just playing, I'd go up to his study and be like, Dad, Mom's being absolutely. He's like, all right, what's going on? Tell me what the deal is. And he'd be able to kind of level things out and make me understand things in a different way. Something more akin to how I was feeling about my life at the time, you know. Because he had a whole life before my mom. They're 13 years apart, I think, you know. So he was like my age when he married my mom. And I think about all the life experience I've had up until now. And wow.
Do you remember the first album you bought as a kid, and do you still have it?
Yeah, I mean, we talking cassette tape, CD?
Sure, whatever. The first, like...
Well, the first thing I bought was a cassette tape.
Okay, cassette.
Yeah. Before CDs. And it was Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999 Eternal. She was hot.
Nice.
They were from Ohio. So it was like, you know, the home state represent. Yeah. Nah, I should do some freestyle and shit back in the day. I'm sorry.
Do you still have it?
Oh, the cassette tape.
Yeah.
I thought you meant my freestyling skills.
Oh, no.
Like, you still got it? Oh, damn. Yeah, I still got it. No, my God. I think I still have a box of cassette tapes that would probably do contain that one.
Given up the opportunity for a day, who would you kidnap, and what would you do? It's a cool kidnap. Don't bring your criminal influence stuff.
Can I get weird about it, though?
You can get weird.
Can I
That's
get weird?
fine. Oh, yeah.
Who would I kidnap? Oh, my God. I never even think about that kind of thing. Should I? Some people think about it. Do people think about that kind of
Some of
thing?
them
You think
do.
about that a lot?
No.
Sometimes.
No?
I mean, yeah. Like, imagine if I kidnapped that person.
Yeah, it's a weird question. I don't know. Kidnap Donald Trump. See what he did about it. See how far his reach extends. You know, how quickly it would take for someone to find where he was and get him back. Is he chipped? I bet he's microchipped
Yeah, probably.
by several different countries. People locked up in the room.
Tied up?
Sure. Yeah. Am I gonna get like be like sent back to England if he gets elected?
We'll make sure to cut that part.
As long as you're here legally, you're fine. You're good.
He won't get elected.
Musically, who would you like to collaborate with?
Donald Trump. I just started a two-piece garage blues band with Donald Trump and his would.
And you'd have to because you have him locked in the room.
Yeah, I'd lock him to the drum set and literally can only play the drum. You know, I'd like to collaborate with Lana Del Rey. My brother met her last night. He didn't even know he did. Guy was like, it's my friend Lana, and he's sitting there talking to her for ages. And he's telling me the story, and immediately when he introduces Lana, I'm like, it's Lana, it's totally Lana. He tells me, oh, fuck, dude, you were supposed to give her a CD and invite her to the show. Asshole. How do you not know? I mean, it's ridiculous. We share a birthday. We're both fans of Liverpool Football Club. It's a match made in heaven. As far as a musical match.
Well, maybe she'll see this, you know. Yeah.
I actually covered one of her songs on my tour with the band, Born to Die, which went down the storm, man. It was real fun.
What's one thing you would not do for any amount of money?
Kidnap Donald Trump. Couldn't pay me enough to do it.
You just think about it.
I would think about it every day. Yeah. For any amount of money. God. Jump into the ocean and be forced to swim somewhere I don't like the ocean. I don't like the vast, deep Nemo thing. Everything's going on down there really, really freaks me out. If there's one thing that really freaks me out, it's like deep, open water. So you could not pay me enough to go scuba diving, for instance.
What would you say is the best thing about your live show?
I find these questions hard, saying good stuff about me. I'm used to saying all the bad stuff. It's very chill, very, dare I say, humble. You know, I kind of sit there, stand there, play some songs, and, you know, have a chat with people who are there. And I think that's the solo live show. You know, I mean, when it's with the band, it's a lot more of a show. It's kind of like a gig / really bad comedy routine, you know, that kind of like violently fluctuates between the two, depending on the night.
Which do you like better?
I prefer playing with the band, actually. Well, I've just gotten back from a UK tour playing with the band, so it's pretty fresh, and they were so solid. It was a great experience, and I'd love to do more of that.
Musically, what can we expect from you for the rest of the year?
So the plan now, I actually have to go back to Atlanta and film Vampire Diaries, so that's going to take up a fair bit of my time. During the season, I'm hoping to get into the studio and record my first full length. So I have all the songs ready. Well, yes and no. I have all the songs in very large. I mean, I've got like hundreds of songs ready that I just need to kind of pinpoint a short list of like 20 or something that I can bring to the producer. We can decide what we want to do. And so yeah, the plan is to record a full length and move forward with a whole strategy for putting that out there.
What would be your pitch to get people to listen to your music?
Oh God, you know, describing your own music has to be the worst thing ever, because you don't want to sound too up your own arse. You don't want to sound too, you know, self-deprecating, and you also don't want to just talk about yourself like I've been doing for the past half an hour that you've made me do.
This is therapy, remember?
It's therapy?
Yeah.
Therapy shit. No, I'm just playing. So it's a tough one. I mean, I always throw out references when people ask about my music, you know, like, you know, Leonard Cohen, huge fan of Leonard Cohen, Nick Cave and Tom Waits, those guys. It's I suppose, narrative-driven, moody folk music. A friend of mine also recently labeled as sad bastard music. So if you like sad bastard music, you'd like my shit. I am Michael Malarkey, and this is Pop Zine Online. Just as a disclaimer, I do not endorse anything I've said. Thank you very much. See you next time.